Caught on hidden cameras, you and I are about to watch raw, real stories unfold, documenting the absolute devastation caused when a lover decides to cheat. This show is dedicated to the loyal and a warning to the deceitful, hoping they eventually find their way back to decency. Coming up on this dramatic episode of Cheaters. We are 5 minutes away. Can I talk to you? What are you doing? Security, take that outside right now. This is raw reality TV, delivered by the private eyes at Cheaters Detective Agency. Host Clark Gable steps in, welcoming everyone back to another intense episode of Cheaters. Tonight we watch Leroy Collins' heartbreaking story. He is a competitive bodybuilder, deeply worried that his girlfriend of 9 months has suddenly turned ice cold toward him. Leroy called our agency hoping we could spot him through this heavy emotional lifting. When Leroy first met Valerie, she was looking for a trainer. They crossed paths at the gym. He took a real interest in her and began helping with her workouts. From that moment on, things just clicked. Valerie immediately caught his eye. He admired her sheer drive and intense workout determination. He loved how committed she was to the diet, matching his strict lifestyle step for step. When the two of them first started hooking up and getting close, they talked constantly, and everything was going great. They were always around each other, completely inseparable, no matter what happened. But lately, out of nowhere, Valerie has become incredibly cold and distant. Leroy reaches out, but she refuses to return his phone calls. She just ignores him, finding every possible excuse to avoid being around him. So recently, that emotional gap has only grown wider. The last 2 months have been absolute torture for him. Meet Valerie, age 30, a healthcare worker accused of destroying her faithful relationship. After getting her schedule from Leroy, our agency dispatches a covert team to tail Valerie. They follow her as she visits her various daily clients. The investigator tracks the suspect's every move throughout the afternoon. Stick with me here, expecting her to drive to another client. The tail gets a surprise when Valerie hits a gym. Valerie walks right into the building. A few minutes pass before the alleged cheater strolls back outside toward her car, but there a strange man walks up to her. Whenever Leroy actually manages to see Valerie, if they finally meet up and talk, he notices she is constantly on edge these days. She immediately jumps on the defensive. She barely engages, brushing him off with short, frustrated answers. It feels like she is embarrassed, acting like she doesn't want to be seen with him. And for Leroy, that level of blatant disrespect is hard to swallow. Valerie knew his lifestyle from day one. She knew he competed in bodybuilding and that he traveled a lot for his events. She never had an issue with it before. Stick around. You and I will see why. Leroy felt like she just didn't want to be around him. Valerie chatted with this unknown man in a highly suspicious, intimate way. Shortly after the suspect and her probable lover walked off to their separate cars. That wrapped up the day's surveillance. If Valerie was really cheating, Leroy needed to know the truth. He had to find out who the guy was and exactly how long the betrayal had been going on. The disrespect was just too much, and he absolutely refused to tolerate it. Leroy insisted he was totally done feeling he had sacrificed way too much. Between his demanding bodybuilding career and constant travel, he was just trying. He wanted to make things right, but mostly, he needed to know where things broke. Once he had those answers, Valerie could go off and do whatever she pleased. Let's ride along as the surveillance team stakes out Valerie's house, waiting for movement. Eventually, the suspect stepped outside, got into her vehicle, and our detectives went to work. They carefully tailed the young woman across the busy city. She soon arrived at the same fitness center spotted in our previous stakeouts. Suspect Valerie Parks stepped out of her car and headed right into the building. Soon after, she reappeared, hopped into her ride, and drove off, completely blind to the tracking team. Valerie drove a very short distance, pulling up to a local shopping plaza. The man from the prior stakeout, now identified only as Felipe, appeared. He greeted her warmly with a hug before they strolled into a nutrition shop. Inside, the scandalous girlfriend and her side piece casually browsed through the store's supplements. Moments later, the deceitful duo walked out of the shop. Felipe, playing the perfect gentleman, opened the passenger door for his lovely date. He dropped their shopping bags onto the floorboard, and Valerie pulled the man in for a tight goodbye hug. As she strolled back around to the driver's seat, Felipe turned and walked away. Suspect Valerie drove off, wrapping up that day's secret surveillance work. The lead investigator waited patiently to spot the cheating suspect once again. Sure enough, Valerie finally made her move. She drove her car straight back to the familiar fitness center. Sporting a tight workout outfit, the suspect strolled inside. The investigation team waited. She reappeared, driving to a nearby shopping center to meet Felipe. He welcomed her with deep kisses and a massive, lingering hug, sweeping her right off her feet. Felipe grabbed Valerie by the hand, leading his secret lover toward a nearby coffee shop. You and I can see the illicit lovers grab a table to talk. Eventually, the preening lovebirds polished off their drinks. Back by the car, Valerie and Felipe shared a goodbye kiss. As the suspect and her secret boyfriend parted ways, the investigators phoned the main office. They called to schedule a sit-down with an anxious Leroy. Coming up next, the ultimate confrontation. We're about to watch her true colors fully exposed. The investigators scheduled a briefing with Leroy. Riddled with anxiety, Leroy finally agreed to view the truth. The lead detective started by thanking Leroy for hiring them. He told the nervous boyfriend he was genuinely glad they could sit down. But unfortunately for him, let's watch this nightmare unfold for Leroy. The thorough cheating investigation had finally been completed. The team needed to make absolutely sure he was emotionally prepared for the upcoming footage. The gathered surveillance video was queued up and ready to break his heart. Not wanting to waste another second, they asked if he was ready. He agreed. The surveillance tape started right outside Valerie's house, a location Leroy immediately recognized. She slipped into her dark black SUV. After driving a fair distance, she parked the vehicle and headed toward a local nutrition store. That was when another man suddenly approached her on the sidewalk. Leroy instantly recognized the location as his usual hangout spot. It was the exact place he bought his own supplies. The two shared a warm hug, his arm lingering around her. Then the pair held hands and walked right into Leroy's favorite fitness shop together. The undercover investigator managed to capture clear internal footage of them. They casually browsed the various supplements. Leaving the store, the mystery man politely opened the passenger door of her vehicle for her. He tossed the shopping bag inside. That marked day one of the stay. Later, Valerie arrived at a busy shopping center and parked her car. She stepped outside. Walking across the parking lot, she met up with that same guy, sharing a tight hug and a passionate kiss. The cameras caught them strolling hand in hand into a nearby coffee shop. After grabbing drinks, they sat outside at a patio table, chatting intimately with one another. Right in the middle of this date, Valerie's phone rang. Stick with me. You and I are about to hear the exact audio from that shocking call. The recording of their conversation was played back. Answered. He asked where she was. She stuttered, claiming she was just out right now. Grabbing a quick drink, she lied. Leroy just wanted to ensure she was okay. She falsely claimed she went to exercise with her girlfriend and that they were getting something to drink. Leroy innocently checked in, telling her to be very careful. She casually agreed. They exchanged fake I love yous. Leroy angrily called the guy trash. He glared at the screen, utterly disgusted by the man beside her. Seeing them at Tactical Sports Nutrition deeply twisted the knife. The tape finished. Leroy was fully ready. The crew directed him to the left. Leroy stormed over, demanding to know what she was doing and what was happening. He furiously demanded to know who this guy was. The team quickly flagged down security to step right in. Let's hear her explain this. Leroy burst in, screaming Valerie's name in shock. He demanded answers. He cornered the stranger aggressively, demanding to know who this guy was. Leroy screamed, demanding to know what was happening. He tried dragging the guy outside, still screaming about his identity. Then Clark Gable stepped in, explaining they were filming the show Cheaters. Clark explained Leroy suspected Valerie was cheating while he was away training and doing his bodybuilding shows. And all those competitions, Leroy confronted the man standing beside her. He demanded to know what this stranger was doing. What exactly was going on? Clark calmly revealed their surveillance footage caught her with this exact gentleman, buying stuff right here, hitting the gym right beside him. Valerie tried to deny it, claiming it was probably someone else entirely. Clark mocked her weak excuse, stating human cloning isn't real, so that was definitely her. Exactly. Watch the conclusion with me. Back inside Texas Sports Nutrition, Leroy begged Valerie for a minute to talk, desperate for answers. He reminded her he suspected cheating while he trained, then went back to cursing the stranger. The nervous guy asked why everyone was crowding him. Leroy lost his temper again, telling Valerie she owed this new guy a serious explanation immediately. He demanded she tell everyone the honest truth. Valerie stuttered, claiming she only met him at the gym and they were just eating. Leroy scoffed at her obvious lie. He mockingly repeated her excuse, furious that she was supposedly kissing a brand new acquaintance. She hesitated desperately, trying to backtrack. She finally admitted they met working out together about 2 months ago. She tried blaming Leroy, pointing out they used to train together too. Leroy realized this was her secret routine every time he left town. The other man defended himself, swearing she approached him and claimed she was single. He explained she wanted to work out, and Leroy confirmed she lied about being single. Leroy told the guy that Valerie had completely lied and played him too. He asked Valerie how she would feel catching him with another woman in public like this. Valerie shot back that it didn't matter since Leroy was never around anyway. She complained he was always flying off to fitness competitions, leaving this new guy to keep her company instead. She argued that a real boyfriend is supposed to be present 24/7. Leroy countered that loyal girlfriends don't betray their partners at local nutrition shops like this. He accused her of letting the new guy buy things she could have easily gotten for free on Leroy's account. Here's where it gets crazy. Leroy asked if this betrayal was just her way of hurting him. The stranger muttered that it didn't really matter. Leroy called the whole situation ridiculous, suddenly bringing up a suspicious phone call. He brought up their coffee date. He realized she was on that coffee date during the exact moment he had called her. What do we make of this? Just another guilty stutter. She plays dumb. She claims she was grabbing coffee with a girlfriend, spotted the guy, and said, hey. Her boyfriend mocks the sudden coffee date excuse. He angrily asks the rival if he knew she was on the phone that exact day. Apparently, she blamed it on her boss. Yeah, sure thing. You and I are about to see the solid proof. The guy explains she left their table for a secret call. Then she subtly motions over to him. He demands to know the honest truth. They corner her, asking if the suspicious woman on the tape is simply a convenient lookalike. She acts completely clueless. The brutal audio recording starts. On tape, she stammers blindly about her current location. She insists she just grabbed a drink when her boss supposedly called her. She desperately begs them to stop the audio, claiming they do not need to hear it. But her rival refuses. He says the poor boyfriend deserves the cold, hard truth. And so does the guy standing right there. The tape exposes a male voice, followed by her saying she loves him. Suddenly, the store owner steps in, shouting that he has had enough of this circus. He owns the place and sees the massive drama unfolding between these three angry people. He knows both guys, but the cheating girl is a total stranger. He demands an end to the fighting, refusing to let these men tear each other apart. Clearly, the tricky girl is the real problem. He offers the men a bizarre way to settle their dispute without any actual violence. He tells Leroy they should take things straight to the gym in the back room. His crazy pitch, a bench press contest. It beats throwing actual punches over a girl. She watches in disbelief, asking if they are seriously going to lift heavy weights. They tell her to zip it, even as she calls the entire macho stunt pathetic. The wild challenge officially begins. After all, lifting weights is his job. She scoffs, asking if they really need to have a meathead lifting contest over her. Someone points out she is lucky they care, calling her just another casual side fling. You and I know better. But she actually claims to be the helpless victim here. They load the bar. One strong guy steps up. Time to warm up. 10 plates. The alpha male energy is completely everywhere. They push hard. A bystander asks why they are even bothering to fight over a cheating girlfriend. He brutally points out that she is not even that pretty. She stubbornly insists she did nothing wrong, claiming they were never in a real relationship. Her angry boyfriend fires back, demanding why she wasted 9 long months of his life. She has absolutely no real answer. What do you and I make of this madness? Ultimately, these guys just have something to prove. He questioned if Valerie honestly meant it. He pushed for answers. She clearly showed no remorse for her cheating at all. Valerie confessed she honestly couldn't care less about either guy. She was cold. The situation quickly escalated. The guys tried holding him back. Tempers kept flaring. The host demanded absolutely no physical distractions. Valerie casually confessed that she actually liked both of the guys. She planned to string both men along until she figured out who she truly wanted to marry. The host reminded her that these men weren't just stray dogs waiting at the local animal pound. He sternly emphasized that she was playing with actual human beings. He questioned them. The two betrayed men started aggressively threatening each other right there. They couldn't believe her. The host recapped her crazy plan to keep secretly dating them both simultaneously to see who she preferred. But suddenly, Valerie announced she was completely done with the other guy anyway. She told Leroy she was finished with him too, wanting absolutely no part of this confrontation. She claimed she was honestly done with the whole situation, done with everyone. Leroy still demanded his answers. Valerie stubbornly repeated she didn't want to be with either man. She was totally finished. The host insisted she owed these gentlemen real answers, considering their 9 months of training together. Valerie mockingly accused them of playing the victim and told them to date each other. She yelled to get the cameras away. She bitterly claimed that both guys did the exact same stuff. Here's the thing we can clearly see. Both men got played by this girl, man to man. He left the final choice to them. The two rivals awkwardly made peace. They apologized quietly. They realized this happens sometimes and wished each other well. The host then asked Leroy about his next move and if he would still compete. He would compete. He didn't need this ridiculous nonsense. The TV crew asked if he wanted a ride back with them. Leroy firmly decided to stay right where he was. He insisted on staying behind all alone. The host encouraged him to stay strong and not lose his path. They politely exchanged thank yous for the reality show's cheating investigation service. Now that we've watched this chaotic confrontation's tidal wave calm down, Leroy starts making a few major changes in his life. The Cheaters episode finally wraps up by revealing Leroy's ultimate life decision to us. Today, let's watch receptionist Michelle Meadows step up to explain her side about the infamous day she got busted on Cheaters. She claimed the whole confrontation was a massive shock. They were hanging at the park, just having a really great time together. It was a gorgeous afternoon out, she recalled. She swore they were just coworkers chilling together off the clock. Then, out of nowhere, what felt like 50,000 cameras completely swarmed them. Suddenly, Craig's girl came storming right up to them. Fiancé maybe, or whatever. Girlfriend-wife Michelle swore she had no clue. The woman rushed over, screaming about some massive lie he told. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Who the fuck is this bitch? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what is the problem, bro? Don't touch me. What is going on? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Hey, ma'am. Did Craig ever give her a single clue he had a woman waiting at home? Not at all. She placed the blame squarely on Craig for the entire mess. She felt that if he was so miserable at home, he should have ended things. And if he really wanted to stay with his girl, he should have remained loyal. No, you talk to me. Talk to me. You never told me anything at all. You never even talked to me, man. No, man. Hell no, man. What is this bitch Michelle suddenly remembered? His suspicious phone calls. She felt incredibly stupid for missing the red flags. He would take a call, claim it was just the office, and then walk away. He swore to her those calls were just work. Who the fuck are you? I am Michelle, a coworker. Oh, a coworker. Yes, okay, a coworker. She wasn't there to be some guy's mistress. She firmly believed any woman deserves better than being a dirty secret. She desperately wanted the audience to know she wasn't a homewrecker. She never intended to hurt anyone. She really hoped viewers would understand that it was just an honest, unfortunate mistake. Just one. One single guy who made a stupid choice, and now he has to live with those heavy consequences. And just like she mentioned earlier, she genuinely hoped his girl finds happiness because she seemed like a solid woman. Meanwhile, Michelle knew she was a good person who absolutely deserved to find true happiness. So she pleaded her case to the public. She was not a home wrecker at all. You and I both know the sting when a partner looks outside the relationship. But Leroy Collins brushed it off, saying if she was already busy playing him, who knew what else she would do later? He figured he dodged a massive bullet. When our show producers asked the cheating suspect what she was thinking, Valerie called Leroy easy. He bought her everything. So what if they broke up? She could always find another wealthy companion. Felipe actually felt grateful to cheaters. He proudly claimed he might have lost a cheating girlfriend, but he walked away with a great friend and an awesome gym buddy. He made the stakes perfectly clear. Skipping programming from Goldstein's simply meant both sides lost money.